I booked my flight tickets through Checkline, and I need to get my flight status. Imagine I'm in line at the airport with my bag in one hand and my phone in the other.
Hello and welcome to Checkline. What flight do you need to check on?
I need to check my flight status from SFO to LAX.
What airline are you flying on?
United.
I'll check flights on United Airlines departing San Francisco Airport and arriving at LAX. Flight UA 1069 is scheduled to arrive at 9:52.
Great, thanks. Now imagine I'm sitting in the airport lounge with my laptop open. I'll ask the same question. And on the web, I get more information in a visual format. So, hello, my name is Derek Roberti, and my company is called Cognigy. Think of cognitive technology combined, and you get Cognigy. And today we'll talk about why companies are really sharpening their focus on automation as we come out of the pandemic. And we'll talk specifically about a success story in conversational automation. But to get started, we can reflect that for the last 15 months, customer experience has really looked like this. Waiting in lines at the grocery store, waiting on hold indefinitely when calling any kind of government agency, waiting for the supply chain to recover to get the products we need, and waiting for them to be delivered. But for the balance of the year and beyond, we'll start anew. As spending increases in all areas of the economy, businesses open back up, consumer and business travel resume their previous rhythms, and the job losses we've seen in the past year turn into an overheated job market. And as we embark on this new chapter in our economic history, customer experience will be a key differentiator. According to Bloomberg, consumers in the world's largest economies amassed $2.9 trillion in extra savings during COVID-related lockdowns, which is a vast cash hoard that creates the potential for a powerful recovery from the pandemic recession. They say further that in the US, a running down of all of the money saved in the past year would propel economic growth to as much as 9%, rather than the 4.6% currently projected for 2021 GDP. So consumers are back, they're sick of delays, they're ready to spend money, and they're going to gravitate towards any business that can provide them the products and services they need when they want them. So how do we solve for this? Well, traditionally, businesses matched increased demand for service by increased hiring for customer service. So employers are ready to hire, but competition is fierce and workers may not be ready to go back to work in the exact same way as they were before. The New York Times reported that the relationship between American businesses and their employees is really undergoing a profound shift. For the first time in a generation, workers are gaining the upper hand. And they said further that people are demanding more money to take a new job, and that the reservation wage, as economists call the minimum compensation workers would require, was 19% higher for those without a college degree in March than in November 2019, which is a jump of nearly $10,000 a year, according to a survey by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Businesses can adapt to the current market by increasing compensation and offering creative perks like signing bonuses or college tuition grants. And they can even rethink requirements for jobs as they discover that some jobs may require on-the-job training more than an actual college degree. But smart companies aren't going to get stuck in this hiring frenzy. They're going to work harder to keep their best talent and add solutions to support them. And solutions that are AI-based and really give customers the best experiences. Most companies are looking very closely at automation. Do we really need to hire back at the same levels given the availability of modern automation technologies? They're considering where in the business they're paying for human-to-human interactions that really don't require human judgment. Where are people serving as order takers, performing data entry, or completing simple transactions on behalf of customers? A keen response to this current situation and the current rise in consumer demand is to address both of these needs through conversational automation. Without automation in place, the challenge of communicating with our customers is consistency and quality at scale. So how do we keep up with the volume of messages that our customers might send over the many different messaging channels they use? How can we scale up quickly for surges in demand? And how can we train and retrain agents and keep them motivated? How do we ensure that every customer gets the best possible experience? Well, the only way we can carry on a dialogue with our customers at scale is through conversational automation. So instead of having people handling every interaction, we have people design interactions. We teach artificial intelligence systems how to understand and fulfill on customers' needs using our lived experience of how they interact with our customer service teams. And we enable the system to start learning on its own based on feedback we get from customers. So what's going on in our heads as business leaders is, how can I create an experience for my customers that they'll prefer over human-to-human interactions? How can my organization realize cost savings from automation, but really make it a win-win for the customers and employees who are using conversational interfaces? We want experiences that are intelligent and connected, that draw our users in and turn them on with results, rather than frustrating or alienating them. So let's do that. Let's talk about creating experiences that support our users' desire to interact through conversational interfaces, both messaging and voice, that provide 24/7 coverage and help users accomplish goals through interactions that feel intelligent. The case study I want to share is of a global manufacturer with more than 400,000 employees worldwide who did just that. Their story, it's just one story of the many they've implemented actually, is about how they transformed a very manual process using conversational voice automation. Previously, the company handled 95% of their orders of certain components for heating systems by phone. So when a service center needed to order replacement parts, they would pick up the phone, call the contact center, let them know the parts they needed, get pricing based on their distributor discount, check availability and timing, and request an invoice. And this is the way it had always been for a couple of reasons. First off, the service centers themselves weren't running on cutting-edge technology. So many of the systems for managing parts use pre-internet technologies, running local databases with terminal-based interfaces on green screens, rather than modern web-based applications. So establishing an e-commerce portal for distributors didn't really match the operational systems that the service centers used. Second, the need to order parts didn't come up when people were behind their desks. They needed to request parts from the shop floor, a customer site, or a service vehicle rather than from an office. So the phone really was the easiest way to place an order, but it was costly. And not every order was large enough to even cover the cost of the time spent with a human agent. Now, the business had made investments in efficiency. So they used SAP to manage parts and inventory and had built automations to make it relatively fast for customer support agents to place orders on behalf of the callers. So there was investment in managing costs on the business side and making it faster for callers to place their orders. But they still had human agents handling the job of order taking, which is really a data entry activity rather than something that requires human judgment. So their task in working with Cognigy was to take all the automation work they had done and connect it to their users' preferred communication channel. Effectively, they needed a team of automated agents who could handle all of the standard requests for orders, discounts, invoicing, and shipping. They needed three ingredients for everything to work. First is they needed the technology to support the voice channel, which for them was Avaya for their contact center. Second, they needed a conversation management system, which was Cognigy. And third, they needed the connecting backend pieces between Cognigy and the backend systems involved in order processing. And for this, they had help from Automation Anywhere and SAP. They needed to be able to communicate, understand, and process. And all of this had to work within their existing and significant investments in their contact center infrastructure. To build this solution, they worked with in-house teams who had experience with all the dependent technologies, as well as the subject matter experts who knew how the order management process worked in the real world. So what did they build? They created a fully automated ordering system that let callers place orders by phone. And this included several key pieces. So first, it was support for their current contact center platform. Field techs could still call in and place their orders just like they used to. The system would then convert their speech to text prior to pushing the input into the conversational platform. And a unique feature of this project was the ability to train the speech to text engine to recognize complex part numbers. And this isn't an easy problem to crack, as callers can describe part numbers in different ways and in different languages as well. Once the speech to text engine sent the message to the conversational platform, Cognigy, we could figure out the user's intent and then connect the user to the systems and data they needed to access. This was really the same interaction that was previously done with humans, which is now done through an entirely automated process. The crucial components for the project's success were, one, strategically identifying this as an opportunity to reduce cost, while also bringing a new 24/7 availability to a service channel. Second, they needed to make use of internal skill sets to connect the systems that would deliver value to the end user, so Avaya, Automation Anywhere, and SAP. And third, they had to empower business users to build out the actual conversations. This meant selecting a conversational platform that could meet the enterprise requirements for security and integration, and in this case, on-premise deployment, while also being easy enough to manage for a non-technical user. And finally, they needed the forward-looking vision to know that the solution needed to be built initially for voice, but had to be able to expand to other channels like text messaging to meet the users in their preferred channel in the future. The outcomes they've realized have been so far very impressive. At this stage of the rollout, 30% of the calls are being handled entirely by the bot, which created an almost immediate ROI on the project costs. And significantly, almost 20% of the calls handled by the bot happen outside of normal business hours, which is something that wasn't possible before. The success of this one project is really sending ripple effects out throughout the organization as the value of conversational automation and their success in implementing it becomes clear and widely known. And last but not least, it made people happier. People could place orders at their own convenience at any time of day without having to call in during business hours to talk to a human agent. So the Cognigy platform, we automate conversations across chat and voice channels, providing a natural language interface for customers or internal employees to access information and accomplish tasks without the immediate need for human agents. So on the left, you'll see something like what I was just describing. A customer is looking for her last invoice. She starts a conversation on her mobile device. And she starts the conversation on her channel of choice. It could be SMS, web chat, WhatsApp, or Apple Business Chat. Her natural language input is then sent to the Cognigy platform, which interprets her intent and accesses the systems and data that she needs to answer her question. And she gets an immediate response, which is a great customer experience without any need for a human agent to get involved, which is a benefit for the business. And on the right, you'll see that same interaction, but happening by phone. Customers can call in to a phone number and take advantage of the same business process that works in the chat channel. And it really reflects a tenet of Cognigy's approach, which is we let you build conversations once and then publish them to any channel. So that's basically it. Cognigy lets you automate conversations with customers, employees, business partners, citizens, students, patients, and any population or constituent that does business with you. We work really across any use case, any channel, and integrate with enterprise applications and automation platforms. If you would like to learn more, feel free to contact me or visit our website at cognigy.com.